On paper, the Oklahoma City Thunder probably won't be very good this season, but we did say the exact same thing last season, and they still do have an intriguing mix of some tremendously talented young players, some solid veterans, and also a treasure chest of the entire first round draft for the next 17 years. Let's check out the Oklahoma City Thunder season preview, go through deep dive their roster, what you have to look forward to in Oklahoma City. George Hill led the NBA in three-point shooting last year, 46%. Doesn't take a tremendous volume of them, but is very, very efficient and obviously selective with the ones he does. He's got a good little mid-range game as well. Obviously a high IQ, longtime veteran, 34 years old. The type of guy you would love to have in your program mentoring your young players. Will obviously have good pick and roll chemistry with Al Horford, always looking ahead like Chris Paul did, and will fit in well with the young talent there. Obviously not the skill level of Chris Paul, but he's a perfectly solid vet. Despite being 34, still uses his vet savvy to get to the rim a decent amount, knows how to play the game, knows how to lead a team. Basically a poor man's version, very poor man's version of what CP gave them last season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think one time I tweeted he's not as good as you think he is. I'll take myself right now. I was wrong. He is better. He is a three-level scorer, able to get his own shot off from three, mid-range, and the rim. Will use his size and savviness to quick kind of bump defenders off of him to rise and get his shot off. He's really, really crafty with that. Very, very fast. A very strong finisher around the rim with both hands. He'll back the ball up and use his speed to kind of Ja Morant you and get to the rim quickly, get it off the backboard quickly. He is a big, big time talent in the league, an N1, big time 3-point play finisher. Very good handle in tight spaces. If he can't get all the way to the rim, he'll use his footwork to still get there. You see here, left, right, long stride, inside hand finish. Very, very crafty. He's also, the thing I love most about him, a two-way player. He really gets after it defensively as well. If he struggles with anything this season, it might only be because they're asking him to do so much on both ends of the floor potentially, but he is one of the best, for sure, two-way players in the league. One of the guards that's not just elite offensively, but also really big-time defender. Averages almost 2 stocks, steals, and blocks a game. Look at this block as Kobe White just trying to step back on him. He's long as hell. He is athletic. He is strong, and he competes his rear off. He is the foundational core piece to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Lou Dort, let's face it, he is a fullback trying to play basketball. He will get wildly out of control at times and make some mind-numbing poor decisions, in transition. In particular, he'll try to catch and go and quickly get to the rim, but his handle is far from refined, leading him to flop around like a fish. Pretty often, he'll try to launch off of 2 feet for his floater, which gets blocked a decent amount, and the shot is still not great. 26% on 8 a game in the playoffs. To his credit, he's not afraid to shoot them and will keep getting them up. Not to his credit, they just don't go in very often. His form isn't terrible and isn't broken, but he might want to think about being a little more reluctant of a shooter again, because they just usually don't go in. As bad as he is offensively, though, he might be just as good defensively. He will guard the other team's best player. He will chase them around all night long. He's got a great stance and really gets into the ball. He contests every shot. He uses his tremendous size to really compete on that end. Darius Bazley, very intriguing prospect, a first-rounder, entering his second season. Averaged almost 7 points and 7 rebounds a game in the playoffs. Almost like Ben Simmons. He looks like he shoots left-handed but does basically everything else right-handed. Unlike Ben Simmons, though, he can actually shoot. 11 of 22 from 3 in the playoffs. Not perfect, still needs some refining there off some screening actions and things like that, but his form does look very solid. He's got good arc rotation on the ball, and again, he's also like a point forward type. He's capable of driving both ways. He almost seems to prefer to go right. He's usually a better finisher than these couple clips we saw in the preseason, but again, a gifted talent. again, point forward type who can handle it, get into the paint, makes high IQ plays for his teammates. Al Horford, certainly overpaid, but like Hill, he's a terrific veteran, a good example for the young guys, a tremendous pick and pop player, a great floor spacer. He's still got that set shot almost above his head, but he really knocks it down at a high level, and with SGA creating countless opportunities for him with his tremendous speed and how much emphasis is on him, Al should have a great amount of wide open shot opportunities. He also has some face-up game in the post. He likes to use the bank off the glass in those situations as well, and if he catches it in the post, he'll try to back you down, generally for a left shoulder jump hook, which is also pretty effective. Theo Maledon is a 6'4" French point guard, their second-round pick. I don't know how he fell to the second round. He was a Tony Parker mentee, sees the floor very well, really high IQ player, just 19 years old. Again, 6'3", in my opinion, one of the best projects in the draft. Gets up in the air here, finds the cutting Justin Jackson. You can just tell the Parker influence on him. He sees the floor really, really well. I like him more than Killian Hayes, who was obviously a top 7 pick. Look at him kind of change his pace here, a little hesitation to get into the rim, and a great dump-off pass to the big, who's got to finish that one for him. Again, just uses his craftiness to get into the paint very frequently. Good finisher, even with his left hand. Speedy guy, he's got some good touch around the basket. And then, like Parker, mostly keeps his man on his back. Got a big-time floater game in the paint. A really good solution for him, and shoots that tremendously well. From 3, he also looks very effective, solid. Stats overseas not tremendous from there, but he's a confident shooter off the dribble and the catch, and seems to have very solid form and a very good-looking stroke. Defensively, needs to get a little bit stronger, but he is long and gets after it and competes on that end. Amadou Diallo is basically Lou Dort if he was afraid to shoot the ball. He is very, very gun-shy offensively. Like Lou, he'll make some very poor decisions at times, not good ball skills, poor ball handler for the most part. He will play with good energy. He'll find some offensive rebounds, some cuts. Better decision here when his man goes under to pull it back out and attack the rim. Just needs to improve, certainly, as a finisher. Got better ball handling skills than Dort. He will be able to play off some pick and rolls, but again, he'll force a switch or an under every time. That time, despite almost falling down, does a good job using his speed and his length to finish at the rim. Better handle there. Good left-handed finish. Again, very intriguing prospect. Needs to continue to get a lot of skill development in offensively, clearly, but he does have NBA length, NBA size, and athleticism, and you can certainly tell there's something there. That's about his range shooting the ball right now, and he's still not that efficient at it. And again, from 3, imagine just a more gun-shy Dort. Doesn't go in very frequently. It needs a lot of skill development work. Like Dort, though, a more talented defender than he is offensive player. Good potential to be 3-and-D in the NBA if he can add that 3-part. Good instincts, good length, good size defensively, and will do a very solid job guarding for them. This is a pretty good just encapsulation of the Thunder defensively. SGA doing a great job on the ball. Diallo switches, does a great job himself on the ball. SGA just falls asleep for a second, but overall, really good defensive clip, 2 of their young stars. Mike Muscala is a stretch pop specialist, 38% from 3. Not a tremendous volume, isn't going to play huge minutes, but is certainly a capable outside shooter, and him and Al, again, both provide good floor spacing in the Thunder's 5-out system. Doesn't play a whole lot, in part because of things like this, that he can't really guard anybody and is very slow-footed on the defensive end. Aleksej Pokusevski was so good he got his own video. Poku, 18-year-old first-round pick, skill set off the charts. Check that out at the top. I absolutely love his game. Thanks for watching. Make sure you thumb up, hit that subscribe button. Check out the entire season preview series up at top.